Hey guys, what's going on? This is Tyler, and today we are going to be doing our first My Hero Inverse What If, and this What If is what if Bakugou obtained One for All. For the sake of this What If, we will say that All Might will not be on his way to try and give Mirio One for All, because I feel like it would actually make a lot easier for this scenario for Bakugou to actually get One for All. At the end of the day, Mirio will not be obtaining One for All, and it just gives our reason for Bakugou getting One for All a lot more reasonable. So yeah, we will say All Might is just, walking around and he would find Bakugou rather than him being on his way to give Mirio One for All. So with that being said, let's just get right into this video. There will be no like goal for this What If. Now, for Bakugou to kind of obtain this power-up and actually use it to his fullest ability, I feel like we're going to have to shift the focus more so towards him, since this is literally our main character's power, and without it, he wouldn't be the main character. That being said, our story would start off similar, but the main character for this timeline will be Bakugou. Rather than focusing on the story of Deku not having One for All and Bakugou literally having the most unstoppable quirk, I'm going to be going over Bakugou and more so One for All and Bakugou more specifically rather than Deku, Bakugou, and One for All. So yeah, Deku is not the main character here. That being said, Bakugou is still rude to Deku, and he would still proceed to throw his book out the window, which leads into Deku still getting it back at the fountain and walking home until eventually encountering the sludge villain like in canon. In this timeline, Bakugou will actually walk the same way Deku is walking, but since he'll actually leave a little bit earlier, he's actually a little bit ahead of Deku, and him and his friends are basically talking until they hear Deku suddenly scream and the sludge villain get a jump on Deku. The two people right beside Bakugou would get really scared and would attempt to run away, and Bakugou would then decide to actually charge in because he knows that even if Deku is, a little brat, he is still a person at the end of the day and someone needs to save him or else he's going to die. And Bakugou wouldn't let Deku just die to a sludge monster. At the end of the day, he wants to be a hero and he needs to save people. And for Bakugou to actually obtain One for All, this needs to actually happen. So as this is going down, All Might actually perceives this and he's getting ready to power up until he then sees Bakugou charge in and actually try and save Deku. The sludge monster sees this coming from a mile away and he pushes Deku away, and he then tries to attempt to suffocate Bakugou. At that point, All Might would then come in and then using his Texas Smash, knocking away the sludge monster and then putting him in a bottle. Now at this timeline, Deku does not try to save Bakugou, rather Bakugou tries to save Deku, and at that point All Might would then congratulate the two for actually surviving against the monster, and he would especially congratulate Bakugou for making an attempt to save Deku. All Might at that point will then quickly run off, and Bakugou blitzes towards him and tells him to please halt. Mind you, since they dash off pretty fast and they're both supernatural, they are now a good distance away from Deku, and to the point where Deku can't really try and catch up to them, and he's basically left there confused. At that point, he would just get his book that he dropped by being off guarded by the sludge monster since he got a jump on him, and he would basically go home. We then cut to Bakugou and All Might stopping in their tracks, and All Might then questions as to what Bakugou needs until Bakugou would then lay it out flat. I didn't just want to hold off that monster. I wanted to defeat that thing, like it was nothing, and save the day, even if it was that sorry-ass Deku. And besides, a powerful hero doesn't need help to win, they just win. All Might smiles and he says that he definitely did his best and his quirk is strong. If he had just kept training it harder and just get stronger from here on out, he would become a great successful hero in the future. All he can do for now is just to keep on training for greatness. At that point, All Might's 100% form would then begin to run out, and All Might's last action before then reverting into a skinny state would be jumping on top of the roof, and Bakugou would just follow right after him, and at that point, Bakugou would then witness skinny All Might. At that point, similar to that of Deku and All Might on top of the roof, All Might would tell Bakugou about One for All and the origins of it. Now granted, some of you may think that this is weird, but I believe it makes sense because Bakugou would be seen by All Might as the guy who helped out when no one couldn't, or the person who tried to fight the villain even when he caught him off guard, and even when it's against the rules to actually do that without a hero's license. It's kind of a Deku type moment for Bakugou, and so this would basically lead into Bakugou actually learning about One for All, and Bakugou would actually be given One for All since he already saw just how capable Bakugou truly is. And with that being said, Bakugou would actually get One for All right from the start because his body's actually strong enough to withstand One for All and actually eat All Might's hair. Because remember, he's not a shrimp. Bakugou is always training and he actually has a quirk and actually has a good physique. So with that being said, I'm going to say he actually gets One for All from the start. However, he's going to have a Deku problem, and it's basically not being able to control it. And with that being said, Bakugou for the next 6 months months in preparation of the UA entrance exam, he's going to be learning to control his brand new quirk while also adapting his explosion quirk and combining it with One For All. Now the thing is Bakugou is not only given One For All, but he's given 6 months to basically train with it, along with having an explosion quirk and already having the ability to constantly adapt to situations and quite literally getting stronger mid-battle. So imagine just training intensely with the likes of even All Might. I think Bakugou would get some serious gains here, and I think he would at least able to tap into the likes of full cowling 5% to maybe 8%, but I think it's actually safe to say that we can actually go even higher and aim even higher. However, I'm not going to aim too high and say Bakugou is able to control like 50 to 100% or even 20%, because those numbers are just way too strong for early game in the series. However, I will be giving him 10%. And his body can only reach a maximum of 15%, and he can barely hold 15% for that much. He can only use a few attacks, and that's really about it. So with that being said, we can finally get into the UA entrance exam, and I think it's safe to say that Bakugou easily dominates in the US entrance exam scores and actually gets number 1 pretty casually. And sadly, because Deku has no quirk, I don't see him even having the same chance of trying to destroy the 0-point bot. I don't even think he can even destroy the regular robots, let alone the 0-point bot and saving Uraraka. So I don't think there would be any rescue points developed in to save Deku's ass, which means Deku is actually not going to be able to go to UA. Deku is sad about this, but he promises that someday he will become a hero. As for the person who gets removed by Aizawa during that little quirk test, I'm going to have it be Mineta, since he was the second lowest scored other than Deku, who isn't present here. So with Mineta and Deku gone, things just kind of go about as per normal, and All Might would still instruct the other students about the hero versus villain exercise, and the only difference here is that Shoji is on Momo's team while Shoto takes on his opponents on his own, and Bakugou would be the hero while Uraraka and Ito would try and fight Bakugou. Ito wouldn't waste time, and when he meets eye to eye with Bakugou, he rushes at full speed. However, Bakugou, seeing this coming from a mile away and is able to move out of the way, goes into full cowling 5% and hits Ito with an explosion that sends him flying back into a wall that nearly destroys the entire wall in the process. Ito would be down for the count, and while Bakugou is looking at Ida, Uraraka would try and catch Bakugou off guard, but he would see this coming from a mile away, easily blasting her away and blitzing towards the rocket, humiliating the two of them and winning. When seeing Todoroki for the first time basically freezing the entire building and winning and basically using his heat to destroy the ice, Bakugou is curious about him since he seems like the only student who can even try and rival him, and so instead of having that moment of crying, he would basically have this moment of curiosity because Todoroki is not stronger than him. At least that's what Bakugou thinks, but he thinks that Todoroki thinks that he's the strongest, and this bothers Bakugou a lot. So for now, Bakugou is going to keep a close eye on Todoroki and maybe even start a fight with him to prove that he is truly superior and the strongest in Class 1A. Now basically things would go as per normal after this, and this would lead into the USJ arc where the villains would basically come crashing down and invading the USJ, and Warp would basically do his entire thing against 13. And since Bakugou sees all these villains come in, and not to mention he has One For All, and he feels a lot more powerful and a lot more confident, he feels as if it is his duty to try and defend everyone, since he is going to be All Might's successor after all. So this Bakugou is a lot more ego filled up, even more ego filled than in canon, and he feels like it is his duty to try and show off and look good for the cameras and look good for All Might. With that being said, he would take this seriously and go into 15% and start completely wilding out on the villains in the front lines. Aizawa would try and charge in head first, but Bakugou would already beat him to it, and he would just start causing a bunch of chaos, easily destroying all the weaker villains. Now because Bakugou charged in head first, this means when Warp casts his whole warp on the UA students, sending them to different zones, this means Bakugou wouldn't be affected by this, and he would be chilling with Aizawa, combating Shigaraki and Nomu and all the other villains. Eventually, the only ones who would be standing left are Shigaraki and Nomu, and they would then combat the two of them. Aizawa would try and combat Shigaraki, while Bakugou would combat Nomu. Now you guys might be thinking, well, Aizawa wouldn't allow that. Well, Shigaraki actually orders Nomu to just blitz towards Bakugou while he deals with Aizawa personally, so he actually doesn't have a choice here. Anyways, Bakugou would then proceed to combat Nomu, and his 15% proves to be not enough, and so he then decides to break out his full power and smash him with a 100% smash, and this actually does some damage on Nomu, even breaking a little bit of his skin. However, he easily regenerates back and sends Bakugou flying. Bakugou understands if he only takes makes a couple more of those attacks, he will be done for, along with Aizawa. At that point, Aizawa looks to be done for as Shigaraki is basically disintegrating his elbow, and at that point, Nomu would come in and help him, completely destroying Aizawa. All hope is lost for the two of them, and Bakugou is getting ready to use another 100% smash, and he blitzes past Shigaraki and towards Nomu. However, at that point, All Might would then blitz towards them, smacking Shigaraki, smacking Nomu, saving Bakugou and Aizawa all in one flash. At that point, Bakugou and Aizawa would be confused as to what had happened, and All Might would be very enraged, saying, "I am here." At that point, All Might would then begin to have his fight with Nomu, which goes down as per normal, and Shigaraki and Warp would have no other choice but to retreat, and this would then lead into the conclusion of Season 1, which is going to be wrapping up Part 1. Thank you guys for watching this video. If you guys did enjoy, be sure to hit that like button, also subscribe and hit the notification bell if you are new, that way you are notified and updated every time I upload. And be sure to go follow me on Twitter and join the Discord, because I'm going to be doing a My Hero Academia debate tournament soon. And with that being said, I'm going to get up out of here. Thank you guys for watching. Peace out. Bye.
Ui